Hello, ukulele bandits. So these are going to be 5 tips to improve your ukulele playing. They're tips that I use quite a lot, especially if I'm playing with other people in a group scenario. It could be a jam workshop, it could be playing in a group, live gigging, or the ukulele group, whatever it may be. It doesn't have to be on the ukulele, it could be other instruments. These are tips that I find very useful, things that you should be aware of and certainly implement in your practice and your playing. So, tip number 1. Okay, so counting. What do I mean by counting? So it's counting the beats per bar and also counting the bars, how many bars you're playing in a chord sequence. So for example, if we were playing a 4/4 song, which our standard songs will be 4 beats to the bar, that's what that means. And 4 beats to the bar literally means that if I was to just play down strums on the beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, that is 1 bar of C. So I'm aware now that that's 1 bar of C. So if I want to do 2 bars of C, then I just do 4 strums twice. And that's the way it should be counted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I do a bar of F, 1, 2, 3, 4, and etc, etc. So you can have half a bar of G, for example, would be 2 beats, and half a bar of F will be 2 beats, and then you could have 2 bars of C, 3 bars of C, 4 beats. It's being aware and being able to count that. That's the basic idea. So being aware of that and knowing that, armed with that information, we're going to look at a very, very basic song. So this is the sort of thing you would get in the ukulele club. You'd get a sheet like this, which is basically Stand By Me. So I've started with something that I think most people will be able to play and be quite familiar to. So if you can play this already, then you may not need to know this in this in-depth counting the beat per bar way, but it will still help improve your timing, and especially for songs that you may find more difficult, and if you're singing as well, because sometimes what will happen, and this is the point of why I want you to count and play it this way to start with, is that when we've got our words, I'm looking at the words here at the top, when the night has come, you've got no idea how many beats or how many bars. You can only do it by knowing the song quite well. When the night has come, 2, 3, 4. But I can hear where the beats are in between those words, and I can hear how many beats should be played over that C. So if you're just singing it and playing it and kind of guessing, you're more than likely on the A minor, the F, the G, etc. You're more than likely will not get them dead on the first beat of the bar that they should be played in. So I'll show you an example. This, if I was going to play it with a sheet of music. Now this is Stand By Me. It's still a ukulele. You see the ukulele chords there, but this is a lot more accurate. And for me, I can see here straight away that I've got my 4/4. I know it's 4 beats per bar. I've got a line here and a line here, which tells me there's 4 beats of C, and then there's another bar here, so there's another 4 beats of C. Now these notes that you see are just the melody, the singing. We can ignore the singing. We only want to know how many bars of C. And if you were just doing your basic down strum, I would be doing 4 strums of C, then another 4 strums of C, and then when I come down to A minor, another 4 strums of A minor, and then another bar here, look, 4 strums of A minor. Now I've got 1 bar of F, and I know this because I've got a shorter distance. I've only got 1 line. I've got a bar line in between, and then the G is these lines obviously separating. These are what we call the bar lines, and then we've got G here, and then back to C, which we play for another 2 bars, 3 bars, 4 bars, and effectively the progression goes 2 bars of C, 2 bars of A minor, 1 bar of F, 1 bar of G, and then 2 of C, and then it will start again, and that's where it goes. I won't be afraid. That's where we start off with the next, and you can see this in the song, I Won't Be Afraid. You can see that's the start of the next part. So when you look at this sheet, it doesn't give you the beats and the bars, it doesn't give you the count, and if everyone's playing it together and singing and playing and they haven't got the count quite right, or they haven't got the feel of how many beats and bars, even if it's like a subconscious where you can tap your foot and sing along, and that's a really good example, is if you can tap your foot to the beat and keep the beat and stay in time with the chords, that's a really good way of doing it. then what's going to happen is someone will be out of the sequence. Some people will maybe when on the A minor, they play the A minor either earlier or on the and or slightly before the and that's where you get the music sounding a bit messy and not quite right. And obviously we want to have fun. It's a ukulele group. We're there to enjoy ourselves and be social, but we also want to get, you know, a musical benefit out of it and enjoy playing with each other and feel good about the experience, so that the better we play and the better we can improve ourselves, the better all around. So this is what we're driving at. So that's when I look at this song, I've got a lot of information there. We don't need this for when we're learning the songs. We kind of need this because we want to sing and play, but we have to still understand how many beats. So how would you do it? So if I take, this is the exercise, if you like. So I would take a song, Stand By Me. I would actually take this on. I'm taking the ukulele version because you can see the ukuleles above, and if I was to play it, you can see the little ukulele is above it. Now there might be a little bit of lag with the audio because when I'm recording with the mic and counting, it doesn't always line up quite right.
When the
I would 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2,
and the land is
4. What I
dark,
would do is count along
and
with
the
that beat.
moon is the only light we'll see.
And I don't know if you can hear that or feel that. That's I'm going to turn this back on to me for just a second. So the idea is I'm counting what you call the pulse beat, and that's the heartbeat of the song. Is that beat that makes you want to click in time, like a clicking clock even talk. And then you got your foot, if you're stamping your foot. That the idea is that you've got a pulse, and that pulse is what you're counting, and 1, 2, 3, 4, and those accumulation of 4 beats or 4 pulse beats per bar are what you should be really focusing on. And you can do it with this backing track, which is on my YouTube playlist, and just literally count along 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, A minor. That's a very basic strumming pattern, but that's kind of the foundation. That's what you need to understand that, because then when you do the other rhythm, so I do the other strumming patterns. I'm a bit more sophisticated with the strumming. I've still got the underlying pulse beat. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can still hear, and I'll move this mic just so you can see the ukulele a bit better. So you can still hear I'm counting the pulse. I'm not really counting it when I'm playing. I'm feeling it. I understand it's subconscious. That's because I've trained and I've practiced counting my beats per bars. And if you do the same, you count the beats per bars and you strum and go 1, 2, 3, 4 on every song that you do. When you go to play it, you don't necessarily have to focus on that. And if you feel like you're losing it and you're going out of time, then you can go back to counting the beats. But what should happen is subconsciously you should be changing those chords on the right beat, so that the A minor should always be changing on that third bar on the first beat. Not listening to the words and trying to, obviously when you sing the and, play it on the and or slightly before the and kind of guessing where it is, and just you kind of should have a definite. And this is what happens with orchestras. If you hear an orchestra play, they all have a little role to play, and they're all following the sheet music, and they're all aware of where they are on each bar. And even if they're not doing anything for several bars, you've got the cymbal man waiting for his moment. He's going to hit it at exactly the right moment because he's following the music and he understands how many beats per bars. And any good ukulele group that you see playing, when you think, oh, they sounded really good, will be together and quite focused on obviously playing the beats and the bars at the right time. So that's my number one tip. That's probably the lengthiest tip that you're going to get on this video, but I think that's the most important one to start with. So work on that, do these exercises, and if you need any more help, we can look at that obviously in the groups. So tip one, playing and counting the beats.